Sarah will now follow Robert Hilliard to Spain. In the winter of 1936, Franco and his allies had made rapid progress, but Madrid had still not fallen. In February 1937, a crucial battle would take place here, near Morata, in the valley of the Jarama River. The international brigades and the Spanish army were facing overwhelming odds in their attempt to keep the old road to Valencia open. If this road was cut, then Madrid would certainly fall. Historian John Corcoran has travelled from Ireland with Sarah, and he's introduced her to his friend and fellow historian, Seve Montero. Together, they bring her to visit the site of the battle where her uncle fell. The Battle of Jarama lasted 3 days, and on the last day, Pastor Bob Hilliard was manning a machine gun, vainly trying to halt the advancing German tanks in Franco's army when he was mortally wounded.
The Republican and the International Brigade line was this height over there. Mm-hmm. The German tanks attacked from that hill, you can see, Pingarrón Hill. They attacked from there to this position. And I think that Hilliard and the first company was in that olive grove. I think that was the place where he was injured.
There was 4 others with Hilliard, attempting to try and prevent 5 tanks which were approaching from Pingarrón Hill. Yeah. And it was a virtually impossible position because they were effectively trying to prevent the tanks coming down that road to allow their comrades to make an escape. So in a way they died a very heroic death by actually trying to prevent further fatalities amongst their comrades, and there had already been over 200 killed here. I think that Hilliard actually was severely wounded up there and that he was actually evacuated from this place. His 4 comrades were killed, but the research I've done seems to suggest that he actually did survive for a number of days after that and was actually evacuated from the battlefield. He might well have been moved to the La Pasionara hospital in Murcia, where many international brigaders did actually die.
Yes. The book of the 15th Brigade says about the death of your uncle here in that olive grove.
Okay. My family isn't actually sure when he died or when he was killed. A German officer sent a dispatch, a telegram home to his wife to tell her that he was dead, and his daughter showed me this telegram, and the only word I could pronounce on it was Benicassim. So I'm presuming it's the name of a Spanish town or a Spanish area.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because there is actually a hospital at Benicassim, and I know some international brigaders did end up in Benicassim.
They never actually lost the ridge again after
that. Never
that,
again. And that's why Reverend Hilliard was down there fighting, because they'd vowed that they would never give up this ground again, having been driven back from it once.
In my opinion, which probably isn't shared by a lot of people, what you do should reflect more on you than on your family. So I'm kind of looking at him as himself as opposed to as a huge part of my family, because for me he isn't a huge part of my family because before this I didn't know anything about him, so it's like discovering a whole new person, or 3 people in one, as this man seems to be. I like who he seems to be when he was a student, and I have admiration for the man who was out here, but the man who left his family to come out here and who managed to bankrupt his family about twice, it doesn't appeal to me very much. I kind of admire him for staying. I don't actually like being here because it's not a very nice place to be. It feels very calm and stuff now, but just, I don't like being here.
Seve Montero, is anxious to show Sarah the little hospital in Maratha where injured soldiers were taken from the battlefield. Robert Hilliard had sustained heavy injuries, and he was first treated here before being sent on to better facilities elsewhere. 5,000 Republican soldiers died over those 3 days at Harama, and they were all interred here in the graveyard at Maratha. After the war, the victorious fascists dishonored them. Their bodies were dug up and buried in a mass grave on waste ground over the wall from the cemetery.
So let's get this right. So the 5,000 Republican soldiers who were buried here
Yes,
were disinterred
Yes.
and taken out of
Really?
the consecrated ground.
yes. They were removed to this part of the cemetery.
Did you used to think that Robert Hilliard was buried here?
It has been a surprise for me this morning to discover that maybe he is in Benicassim or in Murcia, I don't
Or
know.
wherever? Well, we certainly know he was not buried here. We certainly know that.
Maybe,
His
yes.
4 comrades who died with him
Yes.
ended up here.
He was a very heroic man that helped the Spanish people to fight for liberty of Spain, Europe, and all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's a long, hot journey from Maratha to the little coastal town of Benicassim. But Sarah and John Corcoran have decided to follow up on the story that Pastor Bob was taken there. It's evening when they arrive at the little seaside town to find the hospital, which has been restored to its original purpose as a hotel.
What I was thinking was that for me, coming here is completely overwhelming, particularly compared with the atmosphere from the battleground. The atmosphere here is much calmer, and I'm still trying to piece together my uncle's life and form an opinion of him. But I'd like to know what your opinion of him is so far.
I think he was a very brave man, very, very courageous man. But I think he had a lot of personal problems, and I think he may have eventually sought to solve his personal problems through a political campaign, a political salvation, and a massive gesture like coming to Spain and fighting in Spain in a way would absolve him from some of the previous errors that he'd made in his life.
This almost feels like the end of the story, and I'm happy that I can go home and I can describe this place to Deirdre and the atmosphere of this place. I would have liked to be able to find out where he was buried, because none of my family knows where it is. But I have managed to make